think you can use Discord
No,
No,
actually, I
actually, I
tried to.
tried
or
Yeah,
to.
okay.
Yeah,
OBS Studio.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
I
you
solved
can
it.
use.
I
I
solved it.
said
OBS
that.
Studio.
No, no,
No,
I
no, I
solved it.
said that.
Camelia, you
Camelia,
can
you can
start
start
now.
now.
Great, perfect. I
Yeah.
start.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Excellent, perfect. So, hi everyone there. Thank you very much, Mona, to invite me to this event. I am so happy to be with you. I'm going to talk about how to deploy ML at big scale companies and how to be prepared in this amazing AR era we are living right now. So, as you could see on the invite, my name is Camila Manera. I work as a manager research data scientist for the Walt Disney Company, Latin America. Now I'm a chief data and product officer for a startup of technology and football. And I have more like 10 years of experience in decision making and strategy for large organizations worldwide, where I mix like different disciplines such as design, creativity, user experience, data science, and artificial intelligence. I work in data strategy as an ambassador of the digital and cultural transformation. And in a few words, I love creativity and technology. They are my two passions there. So, what I like the most about machine learning and AI is that when you mention these words, machine learning and artificial intelligence to different people, their first is turns like the with the wow expression and different kinds of it. It seems like they feel these terms like incredible, like from very strong and for something futurist, and I do not know if when you talk with your teammates, with your family, with your friends, and you talk and told them that you're working with machine learning, they feel the same, and if you have this kind of expression, no, but I think it's very curious because every person in this world who has access to a smartphone use AI every day of their life, but perhaps they are not noticing we use machine learning every day of our lives, or most of us. So the main applications that we use every day, Amazon, Google, Disney Plus, Netflix, TikTok, they are the most used apps on the world, and I think that one of that actions it's mainly because of this technology, no, because of machine learning and AI. That's I think it's very curious also this because it's still like they feel like when we talk about this, it's like a trip to the future, no. So that's why I found out that understanding, no, the complexity of how machine learning really works, it's different, no, and it's very difficult to comprehend. So we use internet every day of our lives, and we do not know exactly how sometimes things happen. But likewise, they are part of our everyday task, and we take the most advantage we can from them. So I love always to share one very like simple example, and with when I talk about machine learning, no, we have machine learning in our phones. So every day, perhaps when I want to search for a photo in my phone, and I, for example, want to search for a beach photo, I put it exactly in my iPhone in this case, and I can see all the photos that has that. No, that it's machine learning in our hands. So how it's the way that we can create impact, and we use now this technology just in our phones or also in our applications or in every product that perhaps we are using right now. So we can suggest, depending on how many photos I have around like 20,000 photos approximately. So I can spend 1 hour and a half finding for my beach photos at my iPhone. So, and of course my iPhone solved it in just 1 second. So this why machine learning becomes a passion for me, because it helps us to save time, no, and be more efficient. And I don't know if you feel the same, but having the chance of using these to other stuff and also using technology to embrace ourselves is one of the biggest benefits that we can have. So it's a way that we can start using technology in our favor. So we understand that technology is a complement of everything that we do and not a replacement of anything. Of course, that knowing how that, for example, classifier model works, it's complex, and everybody here it's in the process of studying and learning about it. But understanding how to apply this technology to what type of problems and generate impact on a business is one big challenge that we have. So its role, no, it's essential to make this amazing technology work. So that's why I like to always when I think and when I work with ML projects in this case, that what I want to share with you in big scale companies is that we need to understand, no, what problem we want to solve, and in order to that, what is the best and suitable technology for that. I like to say that we are playing a game in a team, and if each one is not there, we can even compete. No, we have to be all together in this process in order to use AI and machine learning in the best way. So what I love about AI and machine learning is that we can use it to solve problems, no? And every company, no, or a business, and most of it, big companies in this world, faces different kind of problems during their lives, no? Besides its stage of maturity. So the question is here is how can we use machine learning? It's a frequently question that different leaders ask for, but what I ask them on the besides, it's that what problem do you have or what do you need to solve? Because AI and machine learning can or cannot be the solution. We assume nowadays that every problem is it's resolved with machine learning technology, but most of the time, of course, they are right, but not always is like that. So first, we need to understand like deeply the problem, and make a lot of interviews with the principal stakeholders, with the final users, with the consumers, if this applies. Because generally, what I like to say is that the problem, and this it's a real use case that I passed through in working for a more than 100 years company in the entertainment industry, it's that the problem generally it's presented to a team from another team who is not the final user of that. So in that chain of people, we listen to a lot of assumptions, and that makes us work for the team who is presenting the problem, but not for the final user who needs this problem to be solved, who is the most important on this situation, what I like to call the real king here. No, so in other words, in this stage, no, when you are starting an ML project, and most of it when it's in a big company, the first stage you need to be it's a good listen. I like to call this phase the genius lamp. I think that becoming a good storyteller and give the people or team who presents the problem the superpower to ask for everything they need, recreating and show them that they can dream for everything that they would like to have. Because generally, when this team comes with the problem, when this team is presenting what they want to solve, they came with a solution they would like to have. No, they bring you like a closed box. No, they say, okay, I want to have this. For example, I can share an example. I have a problem that one of the business teams I came from, and they told us, okay, I have all these inventory information that different teams are giving to us, and most of the information that we receive it's having some problems, and it's a lot of inconsistency in the content they're giving. So we want to create and develop a model that can detect anomalies. So this type of problems and also projects came along. So the teams brings you a closed box, no? The most interesting stuff came along when that box is open, and a lot of new alternatives came along, because if the team now comes with the final with the final problem, you don't understand really what they are needing. So it's hard to identify if we have to go with an ML project, what type of models we can use, and if perhaps we can use some other technology over there. So After having this, like what I like to call a research phase, we will be able to decide if AI or ML it's the proper technology for the business problem that we want to solve. And that's why I think that this stage is so important, and I am focusing right here, not in the tech, but in the human side of ML projects. That it's the stage. It's so important because we are preventing of failing, and that's the reason why also so many AI projects fail, no, and machine learning projects also, because we receive a lot of assumptions, no, and most of us perhaps we are not understanding correctly the problem, because machine learning it's not the solution to all the problems we have, no. There are other methodologies, other techniques, no, that can be used, and perhaps at that moment we are spending perhaps like 2, 3, 4, 5 months developing a model, working on that, and when we discover the real problem there, we figure out that perhaps we do not need an automatization, and we can develop another thing. So that's quite frustrating for the team, for the final team, and also for us that we have been working on that very long project. No, so um, in after all these phases that we have decided in this case that, for example, machine learning might or is the solution to this problem, we must follow some steps. So we all know here that data is the oxygen of artificial intelligence. So the first step we will be and we will need is to understand the data that we have. And here we open another big gate, no, another big gate of problems. And we need to understand where we have the data, if the data is clean enough, if it has the size that we need, and if the answer of most of the question is a no, we need to attach this problem, because without data, AI and ML projects is not going to be good, and we not solve any of our problems. So one of the first ML projects I have been working in, and this also it's a real use case. I remember I was so excited. We were having incredible brainstormings with the team. We were talking about what we want to do. We were having a lot of meetings with engineers, with the data scientists, with the stakeholders also. And when we say, okay, perfect, this is the project timeline, what we need to do, and everything was really set up. When we go to search for the data was not even in our data warehouse. We would have to make a connection, because the data was uh, developed, and it has from a third party a vendor that we have it. So we had to go like a lot of steps backwards, and the project instantly fail at that moment, because we have to go first to, okay, how we can connect with them, how is the data is going to come, and of course a lot of problems came along, and we realized that at that moment that it was not going to be possible, no, because we recognized that without the amount of data that we were like needing and estimating to have, any model could be developed. So of course a lot of frustration came along, and of course that data and ML are the perfect partners in a data project and data journey. So the amazing part of this is that if we have data, of course that ML can help us automate most of the analysis, can search trends and bring to the front the most interesting things to make quick business decisions, no. And there is that, no, it's one of the biggest advantages that we can take from machine learning. And machine learning, of course, that could help us become as intelligent as ever before. But how, no, how we can use it, this how we can start thinking about becoming as intelligent and personalized as we want, in order to become the best listeners to our customers. If we look for the path, first no, and we want to go through the different stages that we have to work on. If we look to all the journey that we have been talking about, the first we need, no, in order to start is understand and have as data as we can, so that we can recommend the best services or products, because it gives us the chance not also to understand our final user or consumer, but give them the personalized experience, giving them the sensation that the product was designed just for them. That's why as much data as we can have, it would help us to understand that. But also, as much data as we can dream about, the administrator and the engineering of that becomes much complex also. And here appears another big challenge. It's something that I like to talk a lot about, and for me, it's something like crucial to achieve also AI and ML projects. It's the cultural and the transformation side of the ML projects. Because how we train and help the teams to change the way they work, it's crucial. Because the analysis to transform, all this data and analysis in business ideas is definitely one of the most complex roles. You need to have all the key persons in the team so that this process works, of course. And if I want to add more complexity, here also I would bring you another example. What happens if the final user receives a data insight? No, you have developed an excellent ML model, and you have worked a lot of this, and that insight that this model and project that you're working, it's the opposite of what the team was doing, no? How they will think about this. And here is where I bring to the front the most sensitive human side of the incredible transformation that we are living thanks to machine learning and artificial intelligence. All the people and teams who work all their lives in the same particular way, and now you have a new team structure, and you receive a lot of insights. The team, it's really prepared to change. We cannot apply good ML if the teams or the company that we are working on, in this case, we're referring to big structures, are not prepared or can't change. We need to be very careful and guide, all the different profiles and roles that we are working on, so that they can change, and they can be part of this transformation. So that when we launch an ML project, we have all the team on board. Because if not, you will start a fight that would not help anybody. And this is another reason why ML projects fail. No, uh, also giving some things, and sharing some things I have lived through different also companies, big companies working on this, is that it was one of the main reasons why some of our ML projects failed, because the teams were not prepared to listen to all these insights, and that moment it was very difficult to apply everything that we were working on. So my advice here is that when you recognize that you have found a business problem, and ML is the solution, you have to open like 2 or 3 working tracks at the same time. From one side, you need to start looking to the data and how it's going to be used, like I mentioned before. And at the same time, you have to see and understand your team, how the team it's composed, how it's the structure, the culture, how you can help them jump in and see all the amazing opportunities that working with ML can give them, how they will become better professionals and not seeing machine learning and AI as a threat, how your team is going to carry this over. It's our goals as leaders, and we cannot force it. We have to go by their side and be there as soon as they need us. And finally, but not least, if we have final users of the projects, see how open they are to listen to different points of view. Because if they're open to listen to new points of view and solutions, that's if they are not open. That's another big challenge, because we can work on an incredible analysis, as some of ones I mentioned before, but with machine learning projects or artificial intelligence projects, the final user says we were like this for the last like 15 years. Why we have to trust in this algorithm or insight? And here appears another big challenge to solve. That it's why I like so much the term that Google introduced us, that it's called decision intelligence. This is because it's like it's an incredible like new academic discipline that combines different disciplines when we are working with machine learning projects, such as professionals of data science, social science, managerial science, into an amplified field that helps people use data to improve their lives, their businesses, and the world around them. No, and I think it's a fundamental piece in this machine learning era, because it's covering the skills needed to lead machine learning projects responsibly and design objectives, metrics, and safety nets for automatization at scale. So that's why I feel it feels now so incredible that besides we all know that machine learning is going to change and impact all the business across the globe, most companies, teams, and professionals see all the changes sometimes in a faraway future. So that is one of the most complex problems we're going to see as soon as we start an ML project. We need to guide them and show the advantage of this challenge so that everyone is able to transform and not lose on the way. When I start working with machine learning, I will never forget when I say the word, okay, I am working with artificial intelligence, machine learning. People tell me you're gonna to take our jobs. It's a term that generates a lot of afraid in people, but from my point of view, because nobody is teaching and showing how their works can improve with this technology. And that is one of our goals, no? Trying to no show people how we can improve and how this technology can make us achieve a lot of things that we have in mind. uh, we cannot not take into consideration the human side of this transformation, because the people are the ones who can or not make ML successful, no? So if we are talking of machine learning and artificial intelligence since 1995, why now it seems to be unstoppable? And I think because of the following factors. Two things. From one side, data collections, no, and processing becomes easier thanks to the advance in technology. And as I mentioned before, data is the oxygen for machine learning. Computer processing also has become faster, and these are like the trees that help generate that oxygen. Because if we do not have the correct processing in time frame period, that big volumes of data can't be analyzed. That's why since I start working in ML projects, every project I start with two big challenges, no? The implementation and the team, that how the team feels about that. So the impact of AI and machine learning in every business, it's a fact. But if we can anticipate and start working on the transformation, we're going to be much prepared. One of the most clear statements is that AI brings that now everything and share us, no, that now everything is possible. Things not far away, like 5 or 3 or 2 years ago, were impossible to dream about. There are things we use every day, no? So in this algorithm age, the goal is how we become more no more efficient, no, and incorporate all these tools, no, would make us acknowledge that without taking into consideration, no, the human side, ML project, it's really impossible to achieve, no? To create an excellent business, we need to create the perfect combination between ML and people, no? So uh, that's I think this is quite impressive and very important to understand, no, and work on, because perhaps most of the time, we say, okay, we have very good technology, we have everything we need that we have, but sometimes we forget, this is mainly also in big companies and in big structures, we forget how to work with the other part, no? How we can prepare the teams, how we can make these teams feel comfortable with this technology, how we have to start like also um, making and also incorporating like new jobs, making new team structure, having also a very good vision of the business side. All that things are like mainly and the heart are most of the things important in order to make this technology work, because we can, as I mentioned before, create an excellent model, but if the team that it's presenting the problem is not prepared to listen to that, it's going to be quite impossible to achieve this implementation. So these are like the main things that we have to consider, that we have to work on, and also are very important when we are working on data projects. So I want to share how we can start preparing and thinking about the changes, the small changes that we can do in order to start to see the benefits when we start working on ML projects. No, so different steps that we will help like data science teams, engineering teams realize their full potential to the benefit in the organizations they're working. Although I am talking about big companies and big scale, these things can also happen the same when we are working and talking about startups. Uh, but mainly these like more structural problems and culture are impacting on big scale company. Um, so, talking about this, I'm going to share the part of of all the benefits that we can take and how we can organize the teams in order to take the most advantage of the technology. So, from one side, I think it's quite important to point data science teams into the right problem, no? And this something I mentioned, no, that usually I tell leaders and teams that make use a lot of interviews in order, like in the change of people, we do not listen to a lot of assumptions, and also business leaders should take like extraordinary care in defining the problem they want their data teams or engineering teams, data science teams to solve. Like data scientists, especially new ones, often want to get going with preparing data and building models, and at least initially, they may not have the confidence to question, no, a senior business executive, especially if that individual is the project sponsor, no. So how we can help them point, no, the right problem and not work in other stuff. Also have a very clear metric up in advance, no, to solve a problem. Data science teams and engineer teams typically build lots of models and then select the one that seems the best. To make this selection, they need a metric. After designing multiple models, they can use the metric to rank them and pick the best one. Leaders need to use business judgment to determine what the metric should be, which is the trickier than it sounds. And in any complex business situation, there is no single perfect metric. There are usually many relevant metrics, and they often conflict with each other. So, for example, a data science team might be asked to use a historical contact data to build a model, for example, to help a sales team prioritize which customers to contact. Out of the many models the team will build, what metric will be indicate the best one, no? So that is something we have to take care and we have to listen to that. From another also point of view, we can create a common sense baseline first. That this it's also something very important to consider and take into consideration. Is this once you have decided on a relevant, important problem and defined a clear evaluation metric that reflects business priorities, we need to create a common sense baseline, which is how our team would solve the problem if we didn't know any data science at all. For example, if our data science team is building a personalized recommendation algorithm for an e-commerce site, for example, a simple baseline would be tracking what product categories visitors look at and recommending best-selling products for those categories. Another step that we want to hear and listen to is that manage data science projects more like research than like engineering. And this is something that I have mentioned around the conversation, and I think it's something that we need to take to the front because it's quite natural for well like meaning executives to ask a data science team or an engineering team to commit to a clear timeline and hold them accountable. And after all, this is routinely done in project management. But in this case, it is a mistake. But why I am telling this? Because there's a strong element of research in most data science work, which means that a fair amount of time that we have spent on and dead ends with nothing to show for the effort. This trial and error makes it hard to predict when a breakthrough will occur. So it's very hard for us to work on that aspect. We can also check for truth and consequences. No, it's important to subject results to intense scrutiny to make sure the benefits are real and there are no intended negative consequences. The most basic check is making sure that the results are calculated on data was not used to build the models. No, we can assume here that the results are real. Also check that there are no adverse side effects. When a model improves performance on a selected metric, it may do so at the expense of other important metrics also. And I can bring you another example. An e-commerce business may focus on improving revenue per visitor and with an improved recommendation algorithm. Revenue per visitor is the product of conversion rate and revenue per conversation also. That is also a good point to consider and have in mind. So we have been talking and we have been going through uh, trying to understand now how we can work on ML projects, thinking about the technology, thinking how it's the best technology we can do. But as I have mentioned a lot and talking about how we can prepare the teams, the company we're working on, how this technology is going to deploy. So I think that being a good listener, being creative when we ask the question, have a very good analytic mindset, trying to think that every time we work with an ML project, this is because we want to be a problem solver, and also something that I like to talk a lot is about the storytelling data. No, understanding how we can show the analysis, the work that we're doing with storytelling, in order to really make an impact on the business side of the team. No, if a business team wants to use our information in order to take decisions, how we can help them with storytelling in order for them to have all the tools and give the perfect information. And also the business partners, no, because the business teams are our partners in this journey because everything that we are doing and developing, it's going to impact the business directly or users. So on that side, we have to understand that part and how we can work with them. So I want to thank you all to be here. I would like, if you like my presentation, my idea here is for you to take all the information you have in order to understand the red flags in your teams when you're working with big companies, in order to understand perhaps what things are making your projects that perhaps is not the technology, not working the best way. And on that side, you are free to contact me if you have any question. And I really hope you enjoy my presentation.
Um, Camille, what I can say, it's amazing. Really, really, it's like amazing talk, and really, it's so valuable. Today, an event about the cybersecurity. You know, they will mention machine learning a lot, and this it's amazing. It's add a lot for me. I want to ask you something. For someone like me, you want to have a certificate of on machine learning, how he can start it, from where to can have all the knowledge he needed for the job and to prepare for a project.
Yes, that's a great question. I think that in this case, like of course, I am part of the GTM world and I love Google technology, but I think that the all the Google programs and also I think that we can start with very small tasks and very small things, because perhaps when we think with about machine learning, we think about very complex models. But as the one I mentioned before, the image classifier model is something very useful that it's used a lot and you have a lot of information. So from that side, I would suggest like to start like very small, no, and not perhaps like going very far in the future. And also something that it helped me a lot is like listening to podcasts, seeing YouTube videos, also reading books. I think we are like now living that age that we can learn from a lot of places.
Yeah.
So I think that it's also a very good complement, although the technical aspects we can learn it from different online courses and companies like Google. But I think that the rest help us a lot to understand, to like not be very afraid about the technology,
Yeah.
and also have more tools.
Yeah. I want to ask you if you can volunteering or vote for a specific book or courses, we can take it.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, if that possible, can you please?
uh Sorry, I don't understand the last part.
Yeah, if you can suggest for us,
um
yeah, a course
yes,
you can when you see it and
of course,
yeah,
definitely. Yes, yes. I am reading a lot about the different courses that they're launching and that. So I would be very glad after this talk. I can send you some links and also some topics
yeah,
to read about. Yes, definitely. You can count on that.
yeah. Please help me on that. I'm looking to have a certificate on machine learning.
Mm,
Yeah. So
perfect,
I'm
perfect.
looking from any expert like you to provide for me any courses or any yeah, books that help me.
Of course, yes. I have like different books I read that I love, and I can share that with you, and also different courses to start like learning and
Yeah,
see.
I would
Of
like
course,
that. Really, I
of
would
course.
like that. Anyone who have a question for Camelia? Okay, I think there's no
They
any
can
question.
they can send me afterwards if they want. They can send questions, of course.
Thank you, Camelia, again. I appreciate your speak and your volunteering. Really, I'm very thankful for you.
No, please. I really love to like help people to jump in into this technology and also this industry. I am so happy that you are jumping in and want to start with this. So everything you need from my side, you have my contact. I am there. Questions, books, readings, everything, you can follow me. And I hope, like in some years, we talk again. We can talk, although in the near future. But you will be very happy with this decision and everything that you can do there.
Yeah, it will be my pleasure, really.
Okay, thank you. Have an
Okay.
excellent.
Yeah, I will take a picture. So please, I try to take a picture, and for all the women, we have to prepare.
Yes,
So yeah, please prepare for the picture. If you want to fix
great.
your
I'm
hair
ready.
and then
I'm ready. I'm
okay,
ready.
okay. 3, 2, 1. No, please, can we repeat it? Okay. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Many thanks. Really many thanks, Camelia, and for everyone.
No, thank you. Have an excellent day and everything you need. We can talk later.
Inshallah. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.
Bye bye. Thank
Bye.
you.
Okay, وئام.
أهلين.
مرحبا، كيف الصحة؟ أهلا وسهلا في أهل العراق كلهم.
أهلا وسهلا. كيف حالكم؟
تمام. من العراق صح؟
أي نعم.
أهلا وسهلا فيكي. إن شاء الله رب
أهلا.
العالمين الأسبوع الجاي راح
إن
تكون
شاء الله.
أنت السبيكر عنا، فكلنا فخر، كلنا هيك بنتشرف إنه نتعرف عليكي.
الشرف إلي إن شاء الله.
الله يسعدك، يعطيك